Paris Saint-Germain are closing in on a major deal for Benfica talent João Neves, and the League One champions hope to have the transfer sealed next week, which is great news for Man United. There were positive talks between all parties involved in the deal on Thursday, with details of the transfer being discussed. According to Fabrizio Romano, PSG are offering Benfica a package worth €70 million plus some players for Neves, with one star being Renato Sanchez. The transfer journalist states that the French giants are closing in on the youngster and hope to have a deal for the Portuguese star concluded next week. The 19-year-old has been one of Europe's hottest talents since making his Benfica debut in 2022 and last season went to another level in Portugal. The midfielder featured in an incredible 55 matches for the Lisbon-based outfit, and that resulted in Neves earning a call-up to the Portugal squad for Euro 2024. The signing of the Portuguese talent is a major coup for PSG, but it is also good news for Man United, with the Manchester club still interested in signing Manuel Ugarte this summer. Man United still pursuing a deal with PSG for Manuel Ugarte. Erik ten Hag is looking to add a new centre midfielder to his squad during the current market, and Man United's top target for the role is PSG's Manuel Ugarte. The Premier League club have already agreed personal terms with the player, as the Uruguay international is keen on a move to Old Trafford, even though they won't be competing in the Champions League this season. PSG are said to want their €70 million asking price matched to part ways with Ugarte this summer, but as things stand, United are not willing to pay that figure for the 23-year-old. Negotiations are still ongoing to complete Ugarte's switch to Old Trafford, and the news that PSG are close to signing João Neves may be good news for the Premier League club, as the League One champions may be willing to lower the Uruguayan's price now that they have his replacement. Manchester United are preparing to revisit a swoop for Benfica defender Antonio Silva this summer. That's as per reports from Portuguese outlet O Jogo, as Erik ten Hag and Ineos continue the search for more defensive recruits. With highly rated French teenager Lenny Yoro already on board, United are still interested in Matthijs de Ligt from Bayern Munich and Everton's Jared Branthwaite, although a proposed deal for both players has proven difficult so far, with the selling clubs playing hardball. United have had 2 bids for Branthwaite turned down. Although personal terms have been verbally agreed with de Ligt, who captained Ajax under ten Hag, United are mulling over alternative options. In any case, further signings are dependent on sales being sanctioned. Silva, 20, has been on the radar at Old Trafford for some time. Similarly to de Ligt and Branthwaite, the cost is one possible stumbling block, with his release clause thought to be €100 million, £84.3 million. However, according to the O Jogo article, United expect to be able to drive down that price, though it's unclear whether they could negotiate a deal cheaper than the cost of de Ligt, thought to be closer to €50 million, or £42.2 million. Silva has won 13 caps for Portugal's senior team and has 3 years left to run on his contract at the Estadio da Luz. Elsewhere, reports from Spanish publication Sport flag up former Chelsea defender Marcos Alonso as a potential target for United in their renewed search for a left-back. The Manchester Evening News understands Ineos remain open to an incoming for that position amid lingering question marks over Tyrell Malacia. Alonso, 33, is a free agent after leaving Catalan outfit Barcelona this summer. He made 212 appearances for Chelsea between 2016 and 2022, representing Real Madrid and Fiorentina, among others, previously in his career. Sofian Amrabat spent last season on loan at Man Utd and had a mixed season. The Moroccan international started decently before injuries kept him out of the side for a prolonged period. He did make a resounding return at the fag end of the campaign though. Amrabat shot to fame with his performances for Morocco in the FIFA World Cup 2022. He had a memorable showing against France where he pocketed Kylian Mbappé for almost the entirety of the game. Man Utd had the option of triggering a £16.8 million buy option which was valid until July 21, but the club chose not to do it. Instead, they wanted to bring Amrabat to Old Trafford for a lower, renegotiated fee with Fiorentina. The player on his part has kept no secrets about his desire to play for Man Utd and was even seen training a Red Devils shorts recently. He has only one club in mind this summer, and that bodes well for Dan Ashworth and company in the negotiations table. Quotidiano Sportivo in a separate report adds that Man Utd are now preparing an offer to bring Amrabat to Old Trafford. Erik ten Hag rates what the 27-year-old brings to the table, and he can be crucial in certain games. La Nazione have now reported that £10.9 million will be sufficient for Man Utd to convince Fiorentina to sell the player, whose contract runs out at the end of the season. For a player of the Moroccan's quality, this definitely is a bargain. Whilst it would be ridiculous to expect Amrabat to be the Casemiro replacement and Man Utd's starter week in and week out, there are certain games in the Premier League that can use his dogged nature, which is why the Red Devils must sign him. We seem to be getting a very good deal on Amrabat, and this is a no-brainer. Let's hope we can get this deal over the line as soon as possible. Manchester United will be back in action in the early hours of Sunday morning against Arsenal in Los Angeles, United States. Erik ten Hag's side kicked off their preseason friendly with a 1-0 defeat to Rosenborg BK before returning to winning ways against Rangers last Saturday. Off the pitch, United have also been active, completing the signings of Joshua Zirkzee and Lenny Yoro from Bologna and Lille respectively. After a disappointing campaign last term, Ten Hag is determined to bolster his squad to make the Reds a competitive side on all fronts. With that said, the Manchester Evening News have rounded up the latest news and transfer gossip from Old Trafford on Friday morning. Jared Branthwaite wage demand. The Daily Mail report the centre-back is demanding Everton match the £160,000 a week wage being offered by United, an eye-watering £8.2 million per year. The 22-year-old is thought to be currently earning roughly £70,000 a week. The Merseysiders are set to award the 22-year-old with fresh terms after rejecting a second bid worth £50 million from the Reds. Everton have placed a £70 million valuation on Branthwaite, with Sean Dyche making him one of the most important players last term. The report adds that negotiations over increased figures with Everton are likely to come at the end of the window, but Branthwaite is said to be ready to refuse any new terms if the Toffees fail to come close to matching United's proposal. Men's Sport says, it remains to be seen whether Everton will be willing to match United's reported wage offer. If not, this could work in favour of the Reds, who are not willing to give up on their target so easily despite already seeing 2 bids turned down. United intend to remain active in the transfer window and are open to signing 3 centre-halves this summer following Raphael Varane's exit. Paul Scholes makes Man United transfer plea. United have so far welcomed Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna to compete with Rasmus Højlund following the exit of Anthony Martial. However, United legend Paul Scholes has urged the club to sign a proven centre-forward. Speaking on Sky Sports, Scholes said, "When I think about Manchester United, I think about brilliant centre-forwards. I think they've had one young one last year in Rasmus Højlund who they have had to rely on, and it was a little bit unfair. He's a young player, still learning the game. They've bought another young one, Zirkzee. I would like to see an experienced centre-forward come and help with that and virtually guarantee goals. Whether that man is out there, I don't know. But I think they need somebody who is proven and go on and be successful next year."